Oh, this food poisoning was brought to you by none other than Chick-fil-A, which is now dead to me. Never again. What's up, Pokemon Collector? Oh, I went really crazy, real man. Let me tell you what I got that was so out of this realm that just would have caused me to get sick. It was a chicken sandwich with cheese, no lettuce, no tomato, no vegetables. It was literally the bun, chicken, and cheese. How were the crown today? Okay. Whatever the standard is, I think it's grilled. So hold on. I'll lay out everything that's happened. Thank you, Cremo. Thank you. So yeah, sorry for the abrupt end to the weekend, but I got off Friday, straightened up a little bit, ate the food, which I warmed up too, fell asleep, woke back up at like 2 in the morning or whenever, and it was over. But yeah, thank you, Chick-fil-A, for apparently unable to properly prepare a chicken sandwich, of all things. It's not like I went out and I had some like sketchy gas station sushi, okay? A water energy auto? Absolutely, dude. I will ruin a water energy free of charge. Haley, okay, so this is coming off of Haley just having the stomach flu more than a week ago. And she's like, I think you got the stomach flu. I'm like, no, this is something else. 100% it was food poisoning. Because 2 days later, I'm back. Like, Haley was affected. She's still being affected by it a little bit. Where is my music? Did I see your whisper? I don't think so. I've been scrambling. So Nick was able to get all of the stuff thanks to my parents driving out. I don't even remember them driving out. And they dropped off all the stuff by Nick from release Friday morning and Friday night. This week we're starting fresh where we left off. There's a 24 to 48 hour stomach bug. It wasn't that, dude. This was like an immediate response to right after I ate Chick-fil-A. This is the break list for 13. Yes. Okay, we'll do gravy. But yeah, so Friday, I like was trying to get better by the time, like, the time for streaming for Saturday hit, and it just wasn't. I immediately like got like worse, and I could barely like even like stand up. And then Sunday, I was done. So we just chalked it up. It sucks, but it is what it is. So for those of you that had to wait for this case break, I apologize. Genuinely, because I wanted to open it right away. What's up, Boo Bear? Ow. Letting the juice marinate? Absolutely, dude. We still haven't pulled the chase. But then again, after Friday, I was not live again. Otherwise, I probably would have pulled it. Why is this... I put one too many on the bottom, I think. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, go figure, right? Trainer popping off as usual. Okay, this list was already randomized and printed out. It was going to be open Saturday, so we let it marinate, as Sean said. Trainer's like pretty solid. I wouldn't bet against Trainer ever. Okay. I just need some sleeves. We're good to go. Luna was my nurse throughout this food poisoning. Luna apparently was just like at my feet the entire time. And then when she wasn't, she was like watching to see if I was moving or anything. She probably thought I died. What's funny is, too, like, I didn't feel sick at all. Getting off on Friday, I was like, I feel amazing. Didn't get sick until I had the food. So, moral of the story, just don't eat food. You guys can write that one down. When given the opportunity to consume food, just don't. That's how you avoid food poisoning. Or like, do like how how like kings did back in the day where they had other people sample the food first to make sure it's not poisoned. I needed to have like a team of people to just eating my food first. But food's good. You're not wrong. Anorexia, guaranteed weight loss, for sure. While not recommended, it is effective. It's basically what fighters do when they have to make weight. Just forced starvation and dehydration. All right. A toast to all you beautiful people. We're getting some heat tonight. I'm catching up everything that we missed after Friday. Also, it's my birthday today. I'm not a person, I'm not a birthday diva, so to speak. I don't tell anyone it's my birthday. I'm telling you guys it's my birthday because I think the luck's going to be crazy tonight. Just letting everybody know. You've been warned. Thank you. And you could ask anyone who was in the house. I wasn't even like sad that I was sick or like mopey. I was legitimately pissed off the entire time. I was like, this is very inconvenient and annoying. What got me through it was tonic water and lime. No, but you know what I mean? I wasn't like, woe is me. You know what I mean? I was like legitimately just pissed off the entire time. I was ready to open more pack. I was very pissed off at Chick-fil-A. I was thinking about this today because my cousin made a joke when he called me. And he's like, yo, he's like, did you tell him yet so you can get some money? I was like, first off, no. Second off, I wouldn't even know how to legally prove that. Is that like an actual thing? Would you have to have like scientists to back that up for food poisoning? And this is not me pursuing a legal case. This is me genuinely asking out of curiosity. You'd have to prove that you didn't have anything else to eat for probably like 72 hours before. So like none of those cases ever really pan out then. Unless you're like trying to catch them. No, and I'm with you there, Boo, because my family is literally like all restaurants. They've never been hit with something like that. It's usually like a bad review if something like that were to happen. Not that it does. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want a free sandwich from there every day to just load another couple rounds in the chamber. Let me double down and see if it happens again. No, thank you. The same thing happened to me when I got sick from cheesecake bites. I am repulsed by the sight of it now. Because there was leftover Chick-fil-A on the counter, and my body was immediately like, no. Devil food. What's up, Buckshot? Hot sauce packet, and there were worms in it. They threatened to sue Taco Bell and was like, how about... CS has been okay. Issue about food poisoning can take 30 minutes to 3 days to show up, which makes it hard to pinpoint which item. Dude, it happened immediately. Like, within an hour. CS... Whenever I hit 4K... I either get teammates that are AFK or absolute wallers. But I'm still having fun with it. I have a feeling, Buckshot, that like there's a threshold beyond 4K that you need to hit before you just keep falling back down. Like, you actually get teammates that don't just AFK or leave. Are you in the doghouse? For what? For posting it was my birthday? I don't care. I'm not like trying to like hide it. It seems like everyone you don't know is a bot. On your team, everyone on the enemy team is, you know, about to get drafted. Thank you, Buckshot. The other team is like Navi, dude. They got, who are some of the big names right now in CS? I was watching clips of somebody. The dude who punched the table was hilarious. And if you don't know the clip I'm talking about, there's a CSGO pro player that literally like broke a table. But he's like one of the best players. Yeah, Nico, there you go. Like at like an official LAN tournament, busted a table. I think they needed to swap it out like mid-match. That's a clean colorless. Back to back for colorless. Dude, it's not like he cracked the table. Like, the table was done after he punched it. I was like, damn. Yeah, he almost aced him for the clutch. It wasn't like he slightly like put a hole in it. Like he totaled it. That's a sick gold, by the way. Yep, I did. I sold the Fade for like 500 or like 480 when it was all said and done. And then bought Marble Fade gloves because I like the way that they match with my knife. I think I added you. I'm almost positive I added you. Oh, another little anecdote of today, okay? Dude, this is only the first box, too. Okay, so it's getting colder out, right? Leaves are falling off the trees. you start to see squirrel nests. And all of a sudden I see this probably like the size of like a car tire size shape in this tree that's halfway down my hill off of the back of my property. Wasp nest. This thing was the biggest hive I've ever seen in my life. The amount of times I've cut the grass underneath that tree, I could have died a couple times. Marble fade. So not just fade, marble fade. Technician gloves? Or tactical gloves? Specialist, maybe. Whatever marble fade. I really liked them because the insides were a different color as well. I might switch my Huntsman to a marble fade eventually too. Sorry, that was gross. But yeah, there was a wasp nest literally the size of like a car tire. I don't know how it stayed on the branch. I was looking at the prices. I probably could have got one eventually. I'll probably get one soon. I'll just trade up. Sell the Huntsman I have now and get a better one. There's some sick, like, combos with the gloves matching the knife. I didn't really delve too much into that before I bought my knife, just because I wanted the same knife that I had. Thank you for that, Jimmy James. I appreciate you. That vanilla karambit is a nice little nest egg to be sitting on. For either buy in again and make sure that you change it, but if you're not going to buy in again, just send an email and you should be fine. Thank you very, very much, Jimmy James. If not for it, you could just send an email too. Like, don't think that you have to buy in to fix your mistake. I don't want you to feel like that's the only option. That's just the easiest. Saves you an email. Put in the notes too when you check out, like, this is the right address. I mean, you see them? We're only one box in and we have that many hits. Jimmy James. Thank you for gifting that sub. I appreciate you. Honestly, what would top off my birthday would be just pulling like 3 of the alt Pikachu that we haven't seen yet. For those of you wondering what happened this weekend, I did get food poisoning. So after Friday, it was over. And I apologize for that, but wasn't my intention to get food poison. Yes. I mean, Sean, honestly, we got to at least see the first one for you. I mean, that's a given. Where did you go that you got food poisoning? Opening up my own Pokemon packs? No, dude. For the people. Oh, you're saying instead, like, that's my excuse for... you're saying I faked food poisoning to open my own packs? If only, dude. That sounds a lot more fun than what I actually was doing, which was being food poisoned. Thank you again, Chick-fil-A. I appreciate you. Couldn't keep me down for long, though. If they tried to kill me, they failed. Yes. I would take you out for your birthday, Jimmy James. 1,000%. Any like specific kind of like food though? Was it like a weird type of food? Well, there you go, Fort. You're good. Italian food. Ooh. Which is, dude, I'm gonna be honest. It's got to be pretty hard to mess up. Because I feel like the majority of that happening is due to like improperly like not cooking something enough. Now Jimmy James is going to say, remember when you said that you're taking me out for my birthday? I'm here actually, so where are we going? And honestly, I would oblige. He's going to call my bluff and I'm okay with it. Most isn't due to... You got food poisoning from Jersey Mike's? Dude, I feel like that's impossible. Like, they would have to serve you just straight up, like, should have been thrown out 2 weeks ago stuff. Yeah, Buckshot, I'm going to look at, like, prices. Listen, Dogecoin keeps going. I'm going to be buying a couple knives for my helicopter. Well, you got to look at, like... You got to look at one of those websites that like tracks the values of the CSGO skins and see what has been holding value more. Probably the knives, no? It'll be at $3. $3 by your birthday. We'll be eating in a helicopter. 11,000, dude? Now, let's say you went third party and you sold it for cash. You're probably, what, taking like a 40% hit on that? What is it, a Dragon Lore? Damn, dude. That's sick. And for those of you who are wondering what we're just talking about, he has an $11,000 skin on Counter-Strike. IRL money, not 11,000 in game. There can't be a lot of those in circulation, like in terms of like recent transactions. I mean, dude, for 11,000, buy a nice knife and then pocket that cash. I mean, get yourself like a first edition Zards, a couple of them. Honestly, if someone had like, if someone said, Beej, I have 11K to blow, what should I buy? Either sealed boxes of like older stuff, little combo, couple graded cards. Because don't just sink it into one thing. Spread it a little bit. Well, that's another thing too, right? I remember I sold my knife and I bought me and my buddies all it was one of the first Battleground games. You collect games, IRL? Or are you saying like you collect games like you buy a bunch on Steam and play? Oh, physical games. I have Pokemon Yellow graded and I have Pokemon Blue graded. Next thing I'm going to have to buy eventually is Red, which will be expensive to complete it. That fan fee is clean. Also, who had Dragon? Audrey. An 8 red? Well, let's let Dogecoin take off a little bit and I might hit you up. Cases for Pokemon games? What do you mean? Like the boxes, you mean? Yeah, I believe it. Same with some of like the older booster boxes. I have all the original cartridges from my childhood with the Game Boy, and I think I'm going to do that before the holidays come around. Is I want to frame them up so I can display them in the collection room, because I think it would look really cool. A PS4 kiosk. The coolest setup I've seen for like a collection slash game room was for N64 cartridges, they 3D printed mounts that were like a little bit flexible and a little bit rigid for the walls, and the games would snap onto the wall, and you pull them off if you want to play them. But that's the way that they were displayed. I wanted to maybe see if the same idea, which it is, I just haven't done it yet. For graded cards, you could probably do the same thing. Family friendly, but yes. It held your comment anyway. Have you seen my collection room at all? Because it's on Instagram, my more current one I'm still working on. Exclamation point Insta. And it should be like under the saved stories. I've been using Nanoleaf lines. I got one wall covered. I'm going to get the corner connectors to cover the other wall. I just used like trim or a crown. Bumped it out with a piece of board, like plywood almost. Nailed it, and it creates a little ledge. It's a lot cheaper than buying the graded card, like they're like already made shelves, because I feel like you're going to spend $300 and it only holds like 20 cards. One wall is legitimately like all graded packs. I ran out of space already. I don't have enough. I thought it would be enough. I'm going to have to like add a couple more shelves that are full length. Or ledges for the graded cards. But yeah, I gotta hit up a Michaels or something to frame up those games from my childhood. I remember one time I looked and the person, I don't think they knew what they were doing, because they like, all of a sudden it was like $600 and I was like, I'm good. Goodbye. They were like adding on a bunch of stuff. They thought I wasn't like smart or something. I don't know. I was like looking at the lady and then looking at like what she pulled out. I was like, there's no way this is $600. There's no way. And she kind of just looked at me. I was like, I'm going to see something else. Bye. That was a while ago though. Palisand. This last row is going to be crazy. I can feel it. That's Anthony. Looking back at how much I opened just on Friday, though, I thought, like, I was like, maybe it wasn't that much. But after all the bundles were opened, on top of all the breaks, I was like, okay, it was actually a lot. I didn't feel that much worse about not being able to go live Saturday and Sunday. But Jimmy James, I didn't know you had a red 8. That's sick. How long have you had it? Years? I'm surprised it never came up. Because I've talked about it a lot. Like, I've brought it up very, like, frequently. Maybe you told me before and I just don't remember. Something. I also have Fire Red and Leaf Green. I have Pokemon Stadium sealed and graded for N64. No, not that old. I still feel the same. Like, my cousin was laughing today. He's like, how does it feel, dude? And I was like, the same. It doesn't feel any different. Nick got me Fire Red and Leaf Green. I had just moved here, I believe. Which, it feels like it wasn't that long ago, but it's getting there. It's like 4 years now, I think. And I didn't forget about, ooh, that alt. Anthony. I didn't forget about the first giveaway either. I'll probably do that tonight. It still doesn't make sense to me why Latios doesn't have... I'm not going to get into it because I'm just going to get aggravated. It's literally like they literally have a card together. They're legendaries that go hand in hand. But hey, we're only going to give Latios. Wait, I don't get it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just too logical. Dragon. That just reminded me when I had like a giveaway on Facebook or something, and we said to comment your favorite Pokemon to be entered, and someone goes, my favorite Pokemon is Lugia and Lugia. And I just remember reading that, and I lost brain cells that I could never get back. That, not including Latios, is the same level of intellect as that comment. Lugia and Lugia. Those are my favorite Pokemon. Yeah, that's good. All you had to do is comment your favorite Pokemon, and you managed to not name a Pokemon in half of your answer. Speaking of Latios, hello. Alright, I'll start talking about Pikachu so we can pull Pikachu. Because I kept talking about Latios there. Pikachu is the best. We're going to pull it right here. Pikachu. Alt. The alt Chase Pikachu that we've just been talking about. Yes. Unless that's where YouTube cut off. If that's where YouTube cut off, I have to post it because YouTube ended the stream on me with 0 notification. I'll clip down like the hit recaps for any of the breaks that got missed on that. When will it be posted? It'll be posted when I end the stream. I'll download the stream that's missing stuff, and it's either going to be, it'll probably be by tomorrow. If the stuff doesn't already get to you by then. I'm still out of Ultra Balls, damn it. Flygon. That's another thing. It's break to the mystery bundles. $12 to the mystery bundles that's missing. Okay, so we started with 12. Then we went to 10. Then we went to mystery bundles, maybe? I'll just clip it from 12 and see where the second stream starts for Friday. I don't want to start the download while I'm live because I don't want to break things right now. So when is an appropriate time to start decorating for Christmas? It's that time of the year again, folks. Yeah, I do know. That's another thing I'm working on. They, without even notifying, once more, Stream Elements sent it to another website. So now I have to port everything over. November 25th? Okay. By the way, if I didn't say it already, we're pulling the first Pikachu in this break. The alt. Just reiterating that if we didn't hear it. If the box didn't hear it. I could pull it next break too. But the first one, I want to see this break. Because after this, I think it's 6 cases. It's a lot of packs. Oh, absolutely, Jimmy James. The only problem is, Jimmy James, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, keeping an inventory of every size is just not feasible. We're not a clothing store. That stuff is like made to order.
Happy birthday!
Ah! Hi.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Did Luna say happy birthday? Did you sing? Did you say happy birthday?
She was scaring my aunt.
Oh, Rose didn't like you.
No, but then she calmed down and Rose was
Was she
not
happy to
scared.
see your mom?
Yeah.
Her new buddy?
Mm-hmm. Should have smacked him with a cake. That would have made a big mess. That would have been a waste
I
of the
didn't even
cake.
buy him a cake.
You see that?
There's a plate of cookies on the counter.
Happy birthday. Now shut the hell up. Get back to work.
She's making all the wrappers fly.
I don't know. We're at that age where it's like, oh, it's your birthday. Yeah, you want a cookie? You want a sticker? Nah, I'm just playing. Yeah, happy birthday. Here's food poisoning. And then I gave a presidential speech like Reagan did. Miss me with the balloon pop. They tried, dude. They couldn't kill me with Chick-fil-A. Big Pokemon didn't like what I was talking about. I was calling their new app garbage, and I'm gonna keep calling it garbage now. It was them, dude. Big conspiracy. They heard me making fun of jumbo cards. Now I'm just gonna double down and do it even more. Isn't salmonella like a lot more serious than food poisoning though? Like I feel like that's like hospitalization, isn't it? Generally speaking, though. Just a light case of salmonella. Just gave him some temporary cerebral palsy. Couldn't move his face for a while. Just random, like, really scary side effects that are temporary. Yeah, but like, can it be like? I feel like it needs to be treated if it's salmonella, right? I don't know what you didn't spell right. It probably didn't pop up for me if it was a bad word. Which is a little scary because you're a mod. It'll probably push it through. Careful with those mod powers, dude. That Tatsugiri, dude. You're celebrating. God bless. But like, I get this is a good question for ChatGPT. If only we had it in chat, right? So they both resolve without treatment. Interesting. So essentially, it's one and the same. Salmonella falls under the category of food poisoning. Yeah, with great salmonella comes great food poisoning. It really sucks to just never have that option ever again for myself as like somewhere to eat, because I'm disgusted by like the sight of it now. But it's what it is. And I generally have like a very strong stomach. So like for something to make me that sick, it had to have been very bad. With great power comes great salmonella. Is that what you learned from Spider-Man? That's slacking. So anybody that's opening Surging Sparks, have you experienced what I'm experiencing with these codes? I probably consumed some of these codes on accident and died, almost. Didn't even think about that, but no, it was the chicken. Class action. That's how we take out the jumbo cards for good. Dude, I've been seeing Facebook posts about the new card app. It's all bots. Whenever I look at these comments, I'm like, oh my god, you guys are really paying for the bots right now because it's going to fail. Jumbo cards, you know the ridiculously giant cards that they put in those EX boxes? Those are useless. A waste of everyone's time. I would take never having another one of those again if they added a couple cards to the set. Because they're taking resources out, and usually take a card out of a set to make that promo. I'm just making sure. I have to clarify. I know you know. Maybe people don't know. So my whole thing is to make it like an ecological issue. Those jumbo cards have killed at least 6 whales in the middle of the ocean somewhere. Whales that did nothing wrong. And they need to stop making jumbo cards. A regular card floating in the ocean, the whale would have filtered it right out. The jumbo card killed a whale. Yeah, someone is pushing them. Whoever idea that was at Pokemon HQ. Who should be taken out back and fired. Because we live in a civilized society and nothing more than that. But wait until like a significant event where it's like the person's birthday and everyone's gathered. Make it a traumatic experience. Wait until he blows out the candles and then fire him in front of everybody. And then when he bites into his slice of cake, you know what he gets? Oh, if something feels weird, it's a jumbo card. That's how I would fire that person. That would be justified. Just in his slice though, because you don't have to spoil the whole office's, day for cake. The morale would be down. They go too. Exactly. Fire everybody. And the same dude who decides what card they take out of a set to make into a promo. Which I assume is the same person, because 2 equally dumb people working at the same place statistically should be impossible. I just can't wait for the dude who made the app with the NFT Pokemon cards. That dude is going to get crucified by the end of this. The only way, Mr. Saxton, that would work out for me is I destroy all of them but one. And I have the only one left. Yeah, the Pocket app. The one where they pretty much ignored everyone who has spent thousands upon thousands of dollars on the first app that should have been fixed. But then they just said, we're making this new one. That way, when you get a valuable card in that app, and then they make a new app, you get screwed twice. You think it's a really good game? You trolling me, right? You're talking about the game in general, the card game? Yeah, but you don't need the app for that. Okay, I was about to say, I feel like you may have been here during one of those rants. Aside from the fact of being maybe... Okay, here we go, dude. It's starting. Of being like maybe 8 years too late to the NFT party. You know, before Logan Paul scammed a bunch of people for billions of dollars. Back when NFTs still had potential, which they probably still will over time, but that did a good number on them. The reason why my face is getting red, though, is not only because of that. The temperature does go up in here when I open a lot of packs. It gets a little hot. What gets me more upset is the people with a big following on YouTube and Pokemon. If they said anything positive about that app, they lied to everybody. And they're either ignorant, they're either dumb, or liars. So, like, you got to pick which one's worse there. Till Tyson smokes Paul? That's not on the script, dude. What are you talking about? You didn't read the script first? That's not a fight. That's a play. And I feel like that fight was supposed to happen like 2 years ago. I didn't even know it was still going on. I love that Netflix sunk too much money into it to cut it. He's going to have to if he wants to get paid. That's probably why they took another year. They're making it abundantly clear. He's not getting into a ring with someone who's not agreeing to a script, dude. I'm sorry. There's people out there that actually thought it was real, and it's like, no, you're being lied to. There's documentaries about Jake Paul being like what's the, I forgot the acronym because it's Monday. Where you have to sign it something and you don't talk about it. It's not D. Is it D? I think that was part of the script, Jimmy James. NDA, thank you. There's documentaries about Jake Paul with his YouTube channel and network. He was literally king of NDAs. If you signed anything with him, you couldn't talk about anything for like 20 years, if not more. What do you think is happening now? It just aggravates me because there was way more potential for celebrity versus celebrity. Not this, like, him trying to prove that he's an actual boxer. And it's, like, annoying at this point. Could you imagine if someone did the same thing, but, like, tried to win 1v1s with NBA players to, like, make a case that they could be in the NBA? I feel like it wouldn't work out. I feel like you switch it to anything else, it's like, yeah, I don't think that would work. But like with this, it's like clouded enough where people don't know enough. We could have had Kevin Hart versus Aziz Ansari, dude, as the undercard. With, like, Mark Wahlberg versus Tom Cruise. I'm staying away from that. If I were to put any money, it would be not to bet against the script. That's been probably heavily decided upon with all this time that's being taken. And Gravy, I see your message. I'll make sure to answer it. It would have been answered sooner, dude, but I was just out of commission for 2 days. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. Right. I don't know, dude. I feel like you're fighting someone who is well beyond retirement. What are you proving? If he's trying to prove that he can box competitively, and he lost against like the first like semi-competitive boxer, why is this still going on? Like, how old is Tyson? It would be like the equivalent of like beating up my grandpa. $58. Dude's fighting like a young grandpa. Straight up. A young peepop. All right, there's still time for this alt right now. It's making us wait. 31-year difference. I just feel like translate that age difference to any other sport. You're going to play like a 60-year-old in basketball. You're going to play a 60-year-old in football. Why is this even being entertained? Yes. Yeah, but Jimmy James, you get what I'm saying. There is probably better contenders for what you're trying to accomplish. If he's trying to prove that he's a relevant boxer, fighting a 6-year-old ain't doing it, dude. It's a play. I mean, it's 100% going to be scripted. It has to be. He's 60 years old, dude. But that was his whole thing. That's the reason why he's fighting boxers or fighters. Because I hate that whatever timeline we're on, dude, it's spun off in this stupid direction. We could have had celebrity like deathmatch again, IRL. I don't know why we went away from that. And we got close again when Elon challenged what's his face, the Lizard Man, the Zucker. I wish that fight would have happened, because that would have opened so many doors. And I I hear you, Gorilla, but like before it was a YouTuber versus a YouTuber. Am I wrong? The next step is celebrity versus celebrity. That would have been cool. Now it's like him trying to like prove his ego while making money. No. I know a couple people in my group of friends that actually paid for it, and I was like, you're dumb. You're an idiot. Oh, I made fun of them, like, relentlessly. And then there were people that were like, this is so real. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, you're regurgitating what he says as his defense. I don't care what YouTuber said that it's real. Like, they were paid to do so, probably. I'm going to be honest with you. I got nothing against them in general. I don't know them. But when he got his first edition box full of G.I. Joes, I think that was all fake. I think there was never a first edition box. And to get out of that lie, they told another lie, and then they left it. No Pikachus yet, but we're getting close. It might happen right here, actually. Another gold trainer for you, by the way. Tatsugiri, closer. I mean, Gorilla, I'm about to be 6 cases in without pulling it. That's 36 boxes. Oh, Gorilla, this happens all the time. Let me tell you why that happens. People are very gullible and they're manipulated. So then those who wanted the price to go to 100 buy them all. And then all of a sudden, then they're worth 1,000 again. And everyone's like, whoa. Happens every release. But somehow people keep falling for it. But still, different set. It's definitely comparable. Yeah, but I've seen the same pattern every release. People dog on a card or a set, whatever YouTuber or Reddit post, everyone listens to them. Then all of a sudden, 6 months later, or whenever they accumulate a bunch and they're looking to flip them, then all of a sudden they're worth 1,000 again. Happens every time. Mew SV alts. Shining Vault. That can mean for multiple sets. Oh, 100% Jimmy Jam. Same idea. Scarlet and Violet alts. Yeah. But this is what happens every, like, people... I figured people would be wise to this pattern now because I feel like it's the same people putting out the same information. Whoever's saying it is lying to them every time. I'm sure it's a YouTuber or a combination of that and Reddit. That's why I say don't rush to sell anything. Or when the price drops like this, accumulate. Might as well, because we know what's going to happen 6 months later. It's probably going to go higher, dude, as time goes on. There's not a regular supply of more evolving coming out. Okay, I didn't pull it this time for you, Sean, but there was a lot of heat in general. I would say don't pay attention to card values for the first, like, so often, couple months. You had electric, you have water. Trainer. Trainer's just a given. We still haven't pulled it. So it's still ripe for the pulling right now. Happy birthday to you. Right, but over time, I feel like you're going to get a higher average. First off, though, there's going to be less overall from a holiday set versus an actual set because holiday sets are just not printed as much as regular booster sets. There's no booster boxes. A lot goes into those numbers. And another thing, too, that people forget to think about is how many of those Moonbrands are the same Moonbrand that are being cracked and resubmitted until they get a 10. It doesn't account for all of it, but it's definitely something to think about. 10%, 20%, it's a lot. What's up, Katie? %, of Moonbrands get a 10. I feel like statistically that's incorrect. Like, there's probably an explanation for that. Right. And I'm not arguing with you on the pop report. What I'm saying is, let's take off maybe 10% for resubmitting the same one. How many of the same Umbreon is in that pop report? It's probably way higher than we think, but I'm being conservative. 10%. How many didn't get submitted? Which is interesting to me because it's like, if you know it's not going to 10, right? You just know wholeheartedly that it's not going to 10. It's still your card. What's the best thing that you could do for it if you want to protect it over time? Create it. Like, what are we doing here? Have I seen? Not really, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like those numbers might be skewed somehow. I mean, dude, I submitted to PSA so many times, I can't recall ever being handed a 10. I feel like that's like when all these new companies came out, they were spreading all of that as information. I've graded thousands upon thousands of cards. I've never been handed a 10. Well, if it ever happens to me, I'll let you know. I've had the opposite. Where I think something has a good case for a 10 and it gets like an 8 or like a 9. And I have a good eye for it. I personally feel like PSA has been pretty on the ball with, in terms of a card getting what I expect it to get. Unless there's like a slip of 20 in the top loader policy that I was not aware of. Yeah, but does that come down to knowledgeable people submitting to get 10s? Like, people not just grading whatever? That's got to be a factor. And I'm not saying it to like explain away the number entirely, but we're definitely not getting a full story of just looking at a pop report. I don't think so at all. Okay, 14 is full. Let me update it. And I like this, Gorilla. I love these conversations because if it brings to light stuff that I don't like always think about. I'm not sitting on a high horse by any means. I'm a person who likes to just question things. I love discussions like these. I think 15 is almost full. But 14 is good to go. I'm just updating these lists so I don't have to do it again. Or is it full and I'm just not reading this correctly? I have it as one spot left. Yep, one spot left. All right, let me randomize 14. Nice little 3-boxer. And I'm not ignoring the discussion right now. I just needed to get this randomized and printed. Okay, here. Let me catch up. They told me to put it on, Gorilla. I wasn't the one who updated the lists for you, Boo the Bear, so probably not. Of the whole grading thing, most of the time it's BS, but I still sub to increase the value of your cards. Like PSA grades around 15 million cards a year. How many employees do they have to grade those cards? How long do they look at the cards? One grader strict. So you bring up a lot of interesting topics or points that I've talked about for sure. Humans grading the cards, right? Humans by nature, imperfect. We're imperfect. We're not machines. There's going to be variance. Someone's going to get in an argument with their wife that day, show up to work, be in a bad mood. All of a sudden, people's grades are going to be lower than expected. But with that being said, is it enough to just say that the entire system is flawed to the point where you shouldn't grade your card there? I don't think so. Don't they have assistants too with computers in terms of the grading? I don't think it's just someone looking at it anymore. It's not like 1,000% human. I still believe that like a computer doing it. Here's my argument against it, right? I don't think computers would be able to do this, but after looking at, let's say, the Burning Shadow Zard, right? Let's say they've graded 10,000 of this card, and maybe 1 to 5% got 10s. Moving beyond those first 10,000 Zards that they saw, I feel like they have to curve it to now where they have a standard of what the cards from the set are coming out as, that a 10 of that specific card might be a little bit more lenient because the cards were generally rough from Burning Shadow. So if a set generally had horrible cards come out of it, on average, over time, they should adjust the grades to what is actually a 10, if that makes sense. Well, I'm not even talking about print lines. That's a error on its own. But if that was the case and they adjusted because of that, I would say that's reasonable, no? Not to like give out free 10s, but it's reasonable. Aside from grading on condition, Gorilla, would you say that buying a maybe more expensive card is a little bit sketchy if it's not authenticated? Because I would say that's one of the main factors of not even just grading for condition, making sure it's a real thing. I would say that's the fundamental thing that people forget about when grading their card. Because if it's not a real card, they don't grade it. I would say that should be the first and foremost reason for getting a card graded. And this is me just being constructive here. Because at the end of the day, if you don't like grading in general, it's your prerogative, dude. Not everyone likes the same things. I mean, dude, as time has gone on, I'm sure that there's some pretty good ones out there. I've seen quote-unquote fakes being sold at Target. Legitimately fake, but like being sold as real. So they are out there. This is my point, right? Like we can get into the nitty-gritty specifics, whatever. So one main focal point is authentication, I would say. Aside from the grading. Yeah, that whatever they are. And I'm not trying to change your mind, Gorilla. I'm more so... I'm in agreement with what you find ridiculous and what you hate. And I think it's good to question that. Because by nature, humans are imperfect. Having humans primarily grading your cards, it could be a little concerning. What if you catch a guy on a bad day? I stay away from that. And usually I chalk that up as people stealing anyway, because people are scumbags and they will sit there with a scale or just straight up steal it. Gorilla, the reason why I ask is because I think they do use some sort of computer assistance when initially grading for like centering and stuff. It's still a human looking at it, but I think they do use some sort of computer program. Or have they said what else? I'm asking. I haven't looked into it too much. I remember people talking about it. The reason why I haven't looked into it too much is because I still trust my cards to be graded by an institution that's been around for 20 plus years. Not one of these other alphabet companies that just popped up. I would say the opposite, Gorilla. They literally have like a podcast where they like answer questions and talk about everything. What are you doing?
Do what you're doing.
They made a funny joke after you walked out, though. They said, "Happy birthday, here's Chick-fil-A."
It was not intentional.
I know it wasn't intentional. Gotta hit those shots, though.
You told us not to eat out, not to eat
I'm
out.
joking. Luna's looking at me sideways, opening this top loader right now. She like tilted her head. She's like, "What is that?" This is a top loader used to protect cards. You understand? She said, "Okay, cool." You didn't have a lot of trust in the process from the start, but after your roller damage, it's funny though, Gorilla. I admire your honesty, because if that were to happen to me, and it was a mistake, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I admire your honesty, because honestly, it's hard to argue with if you got robbed of a 10. I would say that's like a lesser argument. You benefited from it and you don't like it. Now go above and beyond and send the card back so they can... I'm just kidding. I just don't do that, obviously. Thinking a 10, 100% and came back a 7. So the first time it was graded properly. Second time, dude didn't catch the roller marks. That's human error. So in a way, your theory holds sound. But how often does that happen? I can honestly say, Gorilla, thousands of cards I've submitted. Never caught a break like that. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Also, how much of a time gap in between you cracking it and resubmitting it again? Hold on, guys. Well, the reason why I asked for the time gap was to maybe explain it that after they saw a bunch, that maybe their standard for a 10 changed. But a month is probably not enough time. For real though, Gorilla, I can honestly tell you I've never caught a break like that. And I've submitted thousands. The fact that it happened to you, and you being the critic that you are, is probably worst case scenario for them. That's like hitting the lotto. By the way, Water, back-to-back hits. Sierra, you got both. Let's go. So, Gorilla, another thing that you should know, or if you don't know already, a lot of these prominent Facebook groups that regularly bash PSA, a couple of the moderators and or owners of said groups also had invested interest / owned these newer grading companies that came out. Could be a lot of skewing of opinions there. Just letting you know with that one. That was proven. That was exposed. They would delete anything positive about PSA and only bash. Okay, just letting you know for that reason. There was a lot of that going on because I saw it. And it was only to promote the newer companies that came out for grading. Jimmy, would you recommend a mechanic that totaled your car to a friend? Because personally, I value my opinion. I know you're joking, but just making sure. Because there's been a couple people that are like, oh, Beej, I just sent all my cards to be graded. Oh, did you go PSA or BGS? Neither. Oh, wish you would have asked me beforehand because you're just made an expensive mistake. What would you do with an ultrasonic welder? Oh, is that what they do to seal the slabs? Oh, start a grading company? Yeah, the only problem is that I'm not a 20-year institution that is authenticated and, you know, given conditions. Oh, right. That is the first melodic that we've pulled. This first box is all water. I don't understand what's going on. Sierra, very nice. We're getting closer, dude. Getting closer. Who's got electric this break? Jimmy James. Yo, did Doge have 40 cents yet? I haven't checked. Gold Pika's only one. You still only have the first one. First half of the first box. Yeah, you still have the only one, Mr. Saxton. The most recent ones were my graded full set of Flashfire, all 10s of each pack art. Oh yeah, obviously. If it was $35, I'd be. I think I would re-get food poisoning out of happiness. What were you playing, Bulbasaur? You on that WoW grind too? Drasna. You added this set of tag team Japanese trainers, reds, blues, and greens. Those are sick. No, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those are nice. But Gorilla, I love those discussions, dude. I think it's important to have those discussions. We all know what happens over time. I guess I'm more familiar with U.S. cards. Japanese cards I have less confidence in, unless they're like the crazy specialty ones. Unlooted Dungeon. Sounds like a good game. I think the funniest game I've heard so far was Audrey talking about that game where you build a civilization with beavers. you can kill giant rats. That's like Vermintide. I played that game for a little bit. So now you're a little concerned? I stay away from Japanese after my disappointment with VMAX Climax. I was like, dead to me. Well, I mean, over time, it should go up, but at the same time, my confidence with Japanese stuff is way less than US. Just from firsthand experience. I mean, Mr. Saxton, how much of a letdown VMAX Climax was really makes me not ever want to do another Japanese set again. I need to see an Ultra Shiny GX if I'm even going to think about dipping my toes. Yeah, I'm sure you'll do fine, girl. I mean, it's not like you sold the house. You bought one box. The way Japan distributes product makes me really scratch my head, and I'm happy that I'm not in business with that, because it would be an absolute circus. Right, but what I know is right behind that, Mr. Saxon, is the US set that everyone actually cares about. Not a set that you open one box, you've seen everything, and then you're sick of it. Mr. Saxton, trust me, the amount of enthusiasm that people were telling me you need to give VMAX Climax is the best set ever. And it was dead after the first day of doing breaks. I was like, never doing this shit again. Ever. I don't know what happened, Gorilla. Your message was... I don't know what happened. Yeah, but it like censored it. I don't know what he said. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, Gorilla. For that case, Jimmy James, to emphasize what I just said, it was needed. It left that much of a bad taste in my mouth. I allowed myself to swear that one time on here. It was such a disappointment. And I'm coming off of All-Stars, right? That had the God Pack. That was the last Japanese set that I opened. So I'm thinking, okay, this is a no-brainer. It was dead as soon as I had it. Where's your Pika? It's in here. I'm trying to get to it. We already pulled his brother. Yeah, and telling me that it's a $100 card. Gorilla, don't listen to people. I promise you, we're 7 cases in. I haven't seen it yet. This is one of the rarest cards. Don't let anyone tell you that it's worth 100. Absolutely not. I've seen Latias infinitely more. Oh, you just said it was $100 just on your opinion? Bruh, this is a rare card. Again, different era. You could definitely compare the two, but time has passed. This is a new set. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't spoiled it. I want to experience it for the first time. Gorilla, I feel like these are the same comments I would see from the people trying to bring the card value down. I'm not going to lie to you. These are the conversations I see. But you're entitled to your opinion. I respect your opinion. I mean, whether you like the look of the card or not, it's turning into pound for pound one of the hardest cards to pull right now. Slacking. I think I'm going to do this set on its own until I pull one in terms of breaks. So at least another week, hopefully. In guarantees. That is a very nice alt right there for Trainer. Mr. Saxton. This is a crazy 3-boxer, dude. Doing well for yourself, Miss. You got the only gold Pikachu right now. And now you just got that. I think over time, though, the gold is going to end up being more rare than the alt. Data does not support it yet, but I think over time it will. And in my opinion, I think that's the way it should be. If we're talking about tiers of rarity and what should be more rare. Yeah, it's because Facebook groups are just idiots, dude. Just dense. Everyone's yelling. No one's saying anything. At least for the Pokemon specific ones. One box still sealed. That's pretty good. I stopped a while ago going on there, dude, because it hurts my head. After opening over 1,000 packs of my own, I didn't feel compelled to watch another 1,000 pack opening. I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Saxton. And then food poisoning. Definitely put a damper in my, like, YouTube watching. 3 alts in a case is pretty nuts. Well, 1,000 would be like 4 cases. See, I wouldn't spend money on Facebook. I don't trust the majority of people on there. I feel like there's a new scam every day. Facebook verified sellers, i.e. verified by other Facebook users. Right, but verified by other Facebook users. The problem is, let's say you're new coming into that group. It could be the same person verifying themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You know, there's definitely cases of people providing, you know, actual evidence and all that. It's just, I wouldn't put a lot of confidence into that. Technically not verified. That's what I'm kind of getting at. You know what I mean? All they have to do is get you once. Well, you're a smart person. You got a good head on your shoulders. And when you look at something, you know when it's too good to be true. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people don't see the good too good to be true. The good old days. Scammers is what happened, dude. That's the thing, Gorilla. And I've seen quote-unquote verified people doing it. All they have to do is get somebody once. Then they'll come in with a new account, build up rep, do it again. That's the problem. And I'm not knocking it, right? Like, you do what makes you happy. But definitely, like, that would be the last place I would go if I'm looking for a safe, calm, clean transaction. The way I look at Facebook for anything like Pokemon related, everyone thinks they're Rick Harrison. Everyone thinks they're on Storage Wars. No, I saw it, Jimmy James. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to graze over it. I was just had a rant building in my head. Mini me like Jordan? Scotty don't. It's sad that we'll never get those movies again. Or they were never good people to begin with. And they were just biding their time. Because if I were one of those people, which a lot of them aren't too smart to begin with, but if you were a scumbag, you don't want to do a bunch of little scams. They want to do one big one and be done. Thank you, Jimmy James. I appreciate you. Giving me bits with no strings attached, just love. Honestly, that's good luck because now I can play the Pikachu. You can tell the scammers apart just by the Facebook profile. Can you, though? With 100% confidence? Because all it takes is one person to turn. And that's not to say that everyone has that capability, but I feel like the percentage of it happening on Facebook is probably pretty high because they don't have anything really to lose. They're not a business. They're an individual. And is that even their real profile? It's still pretty easy to make a fake Facebook. Yeah, but like there's people on my friends list that I know that are exactly how you describe it just now. More water. It's the pixelation of the photos. For me, I'm a person, if there's a higher chance of it happening somewhere, I'm just going to avoid it. Not worth the headache. Didn't select large photos. That's pretty good. She has the first alt melodic that I've ever pulled. Like meeting in person. I feel like that could introduce another risk. I don't know. I don't know. My confidence with Facebook after having one of the biggest Pokemon Facebook groups and still having it, I don't put a lot of stock in it because they've done nothing to really police it from fake accounts and everything. And some of the videos that I've seen pop up on Facebook are like, why is this here? Why is this allowed to be posted? Like, it'll just pop up randomly on my feed. Not based on anything, because I never use it. And I'm just like, what the hell is this? As soon as I see crazy deal on Facebook, I'm immediately going to... This person is probably scamming, probably stole it. Like, something... Why is this not on eBay? You know what I mean? I don't know. Obviously you're gonna, have a good amount of good experiences. How many bad experiences would it take for you to stop using it altogether? One? Well, yeah, everyone is Rick Harrison, dude. Everyone is acting like they're a business, but they're an individual. eBay's not quick money? Yeah, because it's takes a couple extra steps to be an actual verified transaction. For peace of mind, I would give 13%, if I'm being honest with you. Who's dragging? Mr. Saxton. Because now they offer the authentication with it, too. No, I think people look at 13% and they're like, that could be in my pocket. But then the time that they take between transactions, talking to people that are not even interested but just want to comment on the price and say that it's too high, and all the time and effort that it's going to take to maybe get charged back is not worth 13%, I guess. I don't know. To me, eBay has tax implications now. Yeah, but how are people getting paid on Facebook if it's not in person? It's going to get hit somewhere. If you get a certain amount of money on PayPal, you will get taxed on it. It's just how it is. For me, to avoid even the chance of a headache, I'll give 13% with a smile. And like the 40 conversations of comments on your post for selling a card, someone's like, too high, blah, 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 and they're like not even interested in actually buying it. I'll pay 13% with a smile. Yeah, but like if someone messages me on eBay, I know it's not an offer. You know what I mean? And you can just set it to auto decline low balls. Well, even if it is, if you sold $5,000 worth of stuff on eBay, in reality, how much are you paying in taxes? Depending on the state. Let's say it's 10%, which is probably not. I think we're getting hung up on a very specific thing when we're talking in general. In general, all the headaches and wastes of time, because you as a person should value your time, are you really making 13% more with the amount of time and headache and risks that you take? Probably not. If you're selling a card on Facebook, you're selling it for well under what it's worth. Because that's the way Facebook works. Nobody's paying top dollar on Facebook. I can promise you that. That's not changed. Everyone wants the best deal. 70% market value. I see the posts every day. If you're selling something, you shouldn't go on Facebook. I mean, Gorilla, it's one thing if you make a lowball offer and they decline it, right? Conversation's over. I see paragraphs for people that were never going to make an offer to begin with. You could take the 13%. As a person who's trying to get maximum value for your card, why are you going on Facebook? Unless you're evading the law or something because you stole it. You're going to get infinitely less. Even if they take 13%, it's still going to be significantly higher for what you would get on Facebook. But Gorilla, am I wrong? That's what people want. That hasn't changed. People want to pay well under what a card is worth on Facebook. They want the best deal, and if it's not, then nobody bites. Okay, so I rest my case. Let's say you buy something that was stolen. You could go to jail for that. If it ever got to that point, you could actually face jail time for that. You are very welcome. We still haven't hit it. I don't know, dude. I think people go to jail in Canada for a lot of the wrong reasons. But here's that getting better. You sell stuff close to the market prices on... So out of... When you make a post to sell something, right? You would say... more than 50% of the time, there's never someone lowballing you. I'm saying not even one. Because that's all I see. And I've been doing this for 8 years, dude. I've been in the groups for longer. And but Kadvi, it is annoying because the majority of people are the lowballers. I'm just saying, is your time worth the 13% that you're quote unquote making more? Because you're probably going to end up selling for less than that anyway. In-person stuff, that's different. Cash, that's nice. I'm talking strictly on Facebook, not in person, which is the majority of the transactions. All right, 15 is good to go. I gotta update the list. Also, a lot of the upcoming breaks are more than halfway full. at least 16 and 17. Okay, my mouse needs to stop highlighting the whole screen. I think it's time for a new crappy mouse. Which I could probably use like a really nice gaming one that I don't use anymore, but for this stream I want wireless. It's the free one that came with the keyboard. All right, 15 is good to go. Let me randomize. Connor was very enthusiastic and bought in all caps in one order, and then the second order wasn't all caps. And I like that variety, dude. You're keeping me guessing. And yes, even though the name is different with it being in all caps, we will ship it in the same package. Don't worry. To the right address that you updated. But you got to see those cards in person, or no? Because that's... No, I don't have Discord up. If you... That's like a whole nother thing, okay? After my experiences on Facebook with trusted people, I will never buy a raw card from an individual, not in person, ever again. This person that was very trusted and has so many transactions stuffed 3 or 4 cards that I bought a binder full of, which I would have preferred he just sent the binder and don't touch the cards. He jammed like 3 or 4 cards in a top loader without a penny sleeve. Never again. Another reason why Facebook, garbage. You were probably around at the time, Jimmy James. Before he eats the crayons, he dunks it in glue. Straight up. I was like, very calmly, I said, so you being a trusted member of this community, do you always ship the cards this way? He's like, yeah, for sure. I was like, you've had 0 complaints. No. Why, is something wrong? You jammed 3 or 4 cards into one top loader multiple times. All the cards are done. Oh, no, they should be fine. I'm like, dude, were you dropped on your head? Like, are you like suffering like severe brain damage? Because this is the only way that I could see this conversation going. Okay, Gorilla. They're called penny sleeves because generally speaking, they're a penny. you put one card in one sleeve. I don't think there's anywhere on the planet that it's recommended that you put more than one card in one sleeve. I know you know. If you are that big of a scumbag that you got to jam 3 or 4, otherwise you're not making any money, don't do it. Just don't sell cards. These are very basic things. I feel like, and I know I'm not talking about you. I'm saying these are things that you shouldn't have to worry about, but because it's Facebook, you have to. Two cheap cards. If you're a person who plays the game, sure. This is a binder of older cards that were even old for the time that I bought them, which was like 8 years ago. Todd V, you're a very understanding individual and you have love in your heart. I've been burned too many times. That love is gone. Oh yeah, they come in and they're the factory with their Cheeto-infested hands. Might as well have been wearing sandpaper gloves, dude, while you're handling the cards. Let me tell you, Cod V, my confidence and my understanding or love that I would have had in my heart, when I got that binder that was broken down into a couple top loaders that had cards jammed into them and the top loader was literally bending from how many cards were in it, that love died. No. Gorilla. No. One card per penny sleeve and top loader. That's it. That's the bare minimum. And the idiots that put one top loader upside down, one right side up, don't do that either. One penny sleeve, one top loader. That's it. It's all you got. It's not hard. You don't have to do more. Buying on TCG Player is worse? I'd imagine, because all the people who couldn't sell their card on Facebook, that's where they go. So it doesn't surprise me. All those dudes get together on the weekend, they split a whole bucket of glue, and then they just dip it with the crayons. That's enough, for me to never, ever do another transaction again, and I haven't on Facebook. Why bother? I know what I'm going to get. The guy blocked you? Yeah, he scammed you. Basically. Doesn't matter. He already got you, dude. Cod V, the bare minimum. If you want to fancy yourself a person who sells cards, or if you want to be a person that wants to pretend to be a business, one penny sleeve, one card. One card, one top loader. It's not hard. It's not. It's really not hard. If you want to forego the top loader, because the 25 cents would ruin you financially, you would be homeless, then let people know in advance, hey, this is like a 5-cent card, so I'm not going to top load it. I would literally just throw them out. If I see a card, if I see more than one card jammed in a top loader, I'm not going beyond that. I'm either, if I bought it from you, I'm sending it back and asking for a refund, or I'm throwing it out. It's on me for trusting someone on Facebook. But never again. If someone sends a card like that, I don't even have to look at the card. I already know they're chewed up. Because the way it was handled beforehand was horribly. It's a smart thing to do, Gorilla. Another step that you could forego if you bought something on eBay. Something to think about. But that 13%, man, you gotta... It's too much. You need the headache and the heartache. That's not true. But you could tell eBay, and then they refund you. Generally speaking, if you're selling on eBay, though, you're going to want to avoid those interactions because then you get negative feedback. So guess what? People are going to hold themselves to a standard. Well, then you shouldn't buy from that person. They're forced to disclose how they're going to ship it, so you don't buy from them. Hence avoiding the headache. We're really splitting hairs here to try and get me going, and I like it. But Beej, it's only 60% of the time that someone bends my card in half and puts it in the top loader. Only 60. Don't be ridiculous, Beej. It's like calling wrong on a coin flip almost every time. But 13%, never. What if someone has one penny sleeve left and guess what? Not my problem. They're in the business of selling cards on eBay. I better have a protected card. If I don't, refund. But let me tell you, Jimmy James, let's say I spend an extra 10 hours to save myself that 13%. If I value my time at $10 an hour, bare minimum, I am in the hole. People forget about that, I guess. I don't know. If you spend an extra 5 hours on and off just answering people, trying to figure out if anyone actually wants to buy the card, you're already in the hole. This is what I don't understand when people throw up their arms. 13%? What the? The time they spent complaining about the 13%, they're probably in the hole. Okay, first and foremost, if you live in the U.S., you're going to pay taxes. Tax evasion is illegal. Second off, if you don't live in the U.S., majority of countries, they're going to make you pay taxes. So that's just a given. If you want to do cash in person, that's a different story. You slide it in your pocket, no one's the wiser. Majority of the time, the 13% is going to be worth it, I promise you. You're only getting 82 instead of 87. Welcome to planet Earth, dude. Where the government takes a nice big Nice bite out of your sandwich. That's how it works. No. They have to pay that amount. I can't charge money for taxes and then not pay the government. That's fraud. That's not how that works. You don't get taxed again on it. They already took it out. And the buyer does pay the shipping. They charge the fee on the taxed price, not the sale price. So you're getting hit less on that then. I feel like we are really going down the Facebook hole of 13% here. Okay, but you don't pay the shipping as the seller. It's more like 82 instead of 87. So I'm paying $5. It's more than that. $12, $13. I'm paying $13 on my $100 card for 13%, like we said. I'm sorry, dude. I feel like Gorilla's definitely one to troll because he's from that mindset, and I love it. But you bring me down to this level of discussion, I have to pick the brain because people trying to avoid the 13% for undervaluing their card on Facebook is just not feasible. It's incorrect. Okay. We did agree earlier that everyone wants the low ball, lowest of the low. Give me the 70% deal on Facebook. Is that still going to be less than the 13% eBay takes? Yes. Undoubtedly. This is the point I was making. We went down the rabbit hole of this 13%, but we're not talking about the 30% people want knocked off of what something is actually worth. Thank you. Majority of people will. I will too, with a smile. I recommend it. Life gets better. Gorilla, in your defense, you may get hit harder if you're selling in Canada to someone out of the country. 100%. But that's not really what we're talking about. We're, again, splitting hairs. My point is the 13% is infinitely lower than offering 30% off of what something is actually worth. And the infinite amount of headache discussions that you're going to have on your post. Card shows in person. Not what we're talking about, but I agree with you. Just highlighting that COD-V, not saying that against you, but this is now a different lane of discussion. And I like it. Jimmy, not only will I take that 13, I'll kiss it afterwards. Oh yeah. Let me just tax myself for no reason. People who buy on Whatnot love to overpay. That's all I gotta say. Because the only way anyone's making any money on there is overcharging to compensate for whatever percentage that Whatnot is taking. It's the only way. And I feel like people have went and they figured it out. I don't want to live stream on something that is full of bots. I'm going to be honest with you. And TikTok does not care. And Jimmy James, I'm sure you'll find that their percentage is not shy at all. Gorilla, it's because the people that sell on there have to pay a nice chunk percentage of whatever sales happen on there. It's not worth it. It's a Ponzi scheme. I don't know if we've read the same thing, Jimmy James. Because I went through and I read the fine print. On them updating lists. All right, 16 is good to go. I completely autopiloted the last break, and I'm not even sure what came out of it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. That conversation made my brain stop. Gorilla, what games you be playing, dude? I'm curious. With a mind like yours, I could see you lighten up a chat, and it would be absolutely fantastic. Arena Breakout Infinite. These were made by the Stream Elements. Jimmy James does also make them. I have to fix the Stream Elements Play Store or merch shop because they moved without telling me. It's like Tarkov. Okay. I got back on the CSGO. The CSGO bug bit me real hard after kind of like not wanting to play anything. I need a water. Always good for 1 or 2 months a year of CS. You play 2 months of... I pulled a really rare skin that was worth $500. That kind of reignited everything for me. I think that one, not this one because it's the extra large one. It's like the 40 by 30 or whatever. I still have yours too, Jimmy James. Oh, see, I did the Battle Pass, and then I got the M4 Fade. And sold it. Of course he does. He's greedy. He probably has them lining his basement right now. Outside of Jimmy, I went to individual print shops. None of them could do it. A lot of people don't make it. The most similar thing I found was through Stream Elements, whatever they use for their merch. And it was a mouse pad, and it was pretty much the same. I mean, I talked to a lot of them, Gorilla, and I knew a lot of them through Chamber of Commerce with my previous job, and a lot of them were good, and they couldn't do it. Oh yeah, that was impossible. I still can't find anyone to do that. For signs, like we're talking neon signs. I'm gonna get a neon sign made. The one I talked to one company and they showed me what it would look like, and I really didn't like how it turned out. But as time has gone on, I'm gonna try it again and see if it's any better. COD V, I am waiting. It would have been already taken care of, but I got food poisoning. So I found another place. And I think Tetsnick found the list of winners, so I can resubmit it again. And it'll be good to go. Making sure YouTube is up, making sure everything is up. I would say definitely let one of the mods know sooner than later, because I'm probably within a couple days of placing another order like that. Oh, for sure, Jimmy James, for sure. But again, it's like I said, keeping stuff like that in stock turns into a lot of overhead for no reason. But there will be conditions where I'm going to do stuff through you. More often than not. Okay. I mean, it's a comfy fit. Well, it's a new place. I think it's similar material, though. Wicked Clowns, thank you for that sub. I appreciate your face. You brick in my background. Mostly paid 13%. For him, dude, you have to. 13% surcharge for the rest of his life. You dirty eBay seller. It's way better to get 70%. Oh, you missed quite a discussion. Where the hell have you been? You would have been perfect for this discussion. I'm not reopening it. I'm done for that discussion. Oh man, you missed some fireworks, dude. The fireworks are over though. You gotta wait till next year. On the shirt specifically, because we're coming up on 8 years. In April. On the shirt? We'll talk, don't worry. Dude, I'm still shook that there was that big of a wasp nest above my head whenever I cut the grass. The thing was as big as like a tire. And I didn't see it until all the leaves fell off the tree. This hive was so large that like I think it was affecting the way the tree is growing. Bro, we still haven't pulled this Pikachu. This is actually nuts how rare this is. I'm bad at pulling it. Alright, dude, go back and watch hockey. Put me back on mute. This guy has been watching collectively for about like 2 minutes. You're bad at pulling it. Family friendly. Well, that's probably not the greatest thing to do, Gorilla, but you knew what you were posting. You're one of them Facebook trolls, and honestly, I can appreciate it. Jimmy, don't lie. You know that's not true. If I had to tell you every time one shirt I needed, it would not be feasible. It's Facebook, dude. What do you mean? Everyone takes everything personally. Prime example of that happening to Jimmy James. I remember someone was like, there was a girl who used to buy in, and she was like, I was offering just standard t-shirts, unisex. Anyone could wear them. Well, are you going to offer V-necks for the females that might want to buy it? Well, no, I didn't think that I would have to. Well, you should probably offer V-necks, okay? Just to shut her up. All right, we have V-necks. Didn't buy one. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this again. Some of the threats, I bet you got them saved. The person that I specifically, just to shut up, make V-necks for, didn't buy a V-neck. Crazy. Could I wear a size small V-neck? Not without being uncomfortable or making other people uncomfortable, because it would be like halfway up my body. Not that it's 2024 and you could show a little, but I wouldn't want to show it. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, I wear mine all the time. Still. See, like, something like that I could hit you up for. Unless someone's got an abnormally just watermelon-sized head, generally speaking, those aren't a big deal. Oh, those are just bots that you triggered. Like the majority of Facebook. The mindless cesspool that is. The people who haven't experienced it or haven't like seen it firsthand probably think I'm being a little bit harsh. Go look for yourself. Of course you did. You sold some that people probably used to scam other people. You were an accessory. Thanks, man. Bless your heart. That's why I love you, Gorilla. You're a Facebook troll. A while ago. I could do that again as the holidays come closer. I'll definitely hit up my boy Jimmy James for that. Where? I think we did them to test them, and we didn't, like, well, no. We ordered some for people that asked for it and paid for it in advance. We could do another something like that. 17. Connor, I've been pulling you some heat, huh? I'm pretty sure I have, at least. Sorry, I'm updating lists. I didn't mean to, like, if I'm ignoring anybody, it's not intentional. Alright, there's one left in 17. Otherwise, we'll roll it over to Wednesday. But I am down to open it now. And it's gone. Let's do it. Yeah, if I ever want to block out these ugly uncut sheets and like other like priceless things. So what you're talking about is a tarp. If I ever need a tarp, I could hit you up. If I ever want to just tarp off the art and increase it another 10 degrees in here. I love this Facebook guy we got in here. Thank God you decided to download Twitch. Retractable or rigid. I just want like the cheapest tarp ever. The same one that they use to like tarp off like an old rusty boat. Vistaprint, yeah. It's not like as big as it used to be, I don't think. But like it's definitely, I've seen it. In some areas. I feel like a lot of that stuff kind of just went online. I haven't really paid attention to it, but... All right. They're so cheap. Yeah, but what do they really do? I feel like the majority of what anything that would be like done there would be like business cards. Flyers, I get? Like, I don't know. They're not that big here, I would say. I feel like I don't really see them that often. Bro, if I wanted a tarp, I could just go, I could go to Menards. They got a whole thing of tarps. I don't really have a shirt guy because I don't want to bother businesses for like a one shirt order. That's the thing. But there will be occasions, Jimmy. I promise you. I keep you in mind. Tatsugiri. I already have an idea in my head that I'll surprise you with. Colorless is Connor. Dragon is Audrey. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I'm pulling Connor some heat, and that's why he keeps going. Jimmy James, I was asking people in general if they've tried the Black Ops 6 zombies, because I kind of miss old zombies. I wish I got to play like the one where they escape Alcatraz and everything. But I know if I play the new one, it's not going to be like the old one. I'm going to be disappointed. Counter-Strike. I play, if you've ever played Legion Tower Defense, Legion TD on Warcraft 3, there's a standalone version of that game on Steam that I play occasionally. And then Hearthstone Battlegrounds on my phone. Those are fun. You kind of just sent like a bunch of different ones just to see like what we liked. But I have an idea in my head that don't worry. We played WoW for a while. In Classic Cataclysm, but as the expansion went on and like they weren't adding anything, it was hard to fill a 10-man raid group. Last break for the night, that's full that I see, which I'm okay with. I see the case is starting to move, the case break, but I feel like that's a good break to start Wednesday with. Just because then it gives time for everything else to fill like it did today. Oh, I still use that. I love that drawstring bag. I'm a person who will carry that regularly. And I remember when we were in Italy, I will not be bullied into whatever trend, even if it's European, whatever, I don't care. Little man purses were making a big comeback in Italy. And they tried to peer pressure me into buying one when I went out there. And I said, absolutely not. I have a drawstring bag. I don't need a little man purse. You've heard the new retail is good? I stopped playing retail after Battle for Azeroth. And I was hardcore during COVID on actual classic vanilla. Because that was the first time I experienced that game. Raiding with 40 people regularly every week, multiple days out of the week, was an experience. Because I never did that before. Where you're all on Discord. And it's honestly like, it was pretty cool. We were like one of the top guilds on the server. And I was the second tank and then the main tank. And then getting world buffs every time we raided, it was just too much. I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. You have to like remote log in to like get certain world buffs when they drop. You got to check the Discord when the buffs are dropping. Mystery packs, well, since we just sold out of them, I'll probably refill them again. I could try to have them fill again by Wednesday. To my knowledge, yeah. Am I expecting the thing to disintegrate? I've used it on multiple vacations. And I'm talking the nice one. Like you sent ones that were lower quality. I'm talking like the nice one. That one, they all held up pretty good though. That one's the one I use. It was very similar to like a nice Under Armour one. Same type of like material or look. I'm a big drawstring bag advocate, 100%. Yeah, you sent a couple different levels. I just like the nicer ones, you know? The cheapy ones, I feel like they break right away. The way I use them, at least. This beat goes hard. No, I don't collect backpacks. I like those drawstring bags for, like, everyday use. I think it's convenient. Especially if like you're on a little trip or something. Yeah, I'm not big into backpack collecting. This is more just for like convenience. But yeah, Ace, I'll restock those. I usually restock them on a weekly basis. I make them in batches of 50. Dude, you can't say I haven't tried. But it makes me excited that we haven't seen it. Every box we don't see it, I'm like, this is going to be very good for longevity. No. I try to keep them stocked always. But I only do them in batches of 50 because I feel like anything more, like I've done 100 batches, they sit for too long. 50 for whatever reason is the money amount that people are like, all right, let's do it. Burning Shadows Arts reminds me of a lot of different things. Alt Hydra Gun. Audrey. Every box, though, dude, is infinitely different than the last. And I'm really a big fan of that. Steel. Audrey. Why wouldn't... Oh, in the boxes you want, for sure. All right. Double check the website. Other than that, hopefully we can start next stream with that case break. Of what, burning? Well, I put burning inside of the mystery bundles too, because I want to hit a Zard again. I think we hit one this year, but that was in a break. All right, I guess we'll leave the rest for Wednesday. But thank you guys for being patient. I'm sorry again that I was sick on Friday. I did not plan on that, but thank you guys for being understanding. I love every single one of you. You're all beautiful. I'm going to be live tomorrow on the gaming channel and back here on Wednesday, and we're going to pick up where we left off. Thank you guys for making this birthday special. Honestly, best birthday present is just opening packs to all you guys. Love you. I'm going to have that ready for the beginning of next stream, because that one slipped my mind. Beginning of next stream, no matter what. Otherwise, I'm giving away another box. Love you. You're all beautiful. I have all the lists, though. I will see you guys Wednesday.